All right, so Rui is feeling extremely guilty, and I just wanted to say that guilt is very normal. Guilt is probably extremely healthy as well. I know a lot of you guys are psychopathic. I get it. You know, when something bad happens and it's your fault, you're not gonna give two shits. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Guilt is a very healthy thing, but some of us take it a little too far. And right here, Ruri, I don't blame Ruri for feeling extremely guilty about, she literally had Hajime lose an arm. But Hajime handled this situation incredibly well. He knows that, Ruri is very vulnerable at the moment, and he doesn't really want to push her off the edge. Now, what I mean by push off the edge is the fact that when someone is very guilty, like you motherfuckers, no, I'm kidding. like I'm talking like no, but there are like if you're watching this video and you're feeling very guilty, that's fine. It's okay to feel bad about something that you did. Maybe you really did lose someone's homework. Maybe you did crash somebody else's car. You're feeling like shit. And so what Hajime did is after he climbs this tree, obviously, he's not going to be able to the first try. But the second try, he just says, look, I'm just happy that you are okay, Ruri. And then that really just helps Ruri cope. And then Ruri answers his it's pretty much like him putting her down gently, right? So she answers by saying, you know what, I'm gonna get stronger, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna protect you, I'm gonna protect and provide for you. And she just really goes above and beyond, which in my case I think that's a really healthy response. Of course, I think she's biting more than she can chew. Even Hajime was like, you know what? I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not gonna hope for much. Well, it just is kind of humor, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the type of humor he likes to give. When it comes to Ruri, yeah, you can see here he's climbing a tree. So with one arm, yeah, and this is very real. This is a very real situation, and I appreciate the anime for doing this. In a lot of animes, the main MC never really gets a serious injury. And one thing that it reminded me was of Guts. You know how Berserk and Guts, he's literally like another version. Bro, look at him. He takes out his hammer and tries to shoot away the bird. Bro, you kind of forgot that you only have one arm, buddy. And so he forgot that he only has one arm, and like he just totally falls back. But anyways, yeah, guilt is a very powerful thing to happen to someone. I've seen it many times where guilt just eats you up. It eats you up and it tears you down, and you feel like shit, and you don't recover. This is a very unhealthy way to end guilt. You want to recover and get better after you feel guilty. You don't want to become worse. And that's why I think a lot of people, it's very true in like court situation. You're in court, the judge says you're guilty, and you go to jail for like 2 years or several months, or maybe even a day or two. And people come out of it as better people. They start behaving, they start grinding away at work, they start paying off their debts. Whatever got them in jail, they'll never do again, or they'll just self-improve as people. I've seen it many times. After going to jail, people just become better. But then there's the other side of the coin where after finding a guilty verdict, they go to jail for a couple days or months, and they come out even worse. Because the guilt has just etched into their hearts that they're like this, and they've always been like this, and they're gonna keep making mistakes, and they can't improve. So yeah, guys, Ruri here, as much as I kind of felt bad for Ruri, if I were to be honest with you guys, I felt really bad for her. She felt very guilty about Hajime losing her arm. And let's be let's be serious here, guys. It was her fucking fault. See, she's like, now you can't even climb a tree. She's seeing the drawbacks of her wanting to go with him. She should have stayed behind. Let's just say that she should have stayed behind. She should have listened to everybody in the fucking village that was like, you're too young. And she knows it too, bro. She fucked up so badly. She fucked up extremely. She could, this whole arm losing situation is all on her. But at the same time, because he was there to protect her and not the other adventurers, in which he really didn't give two shits about, I think he would have ended up dead. That could be a very serious situation. That could have been the reality of things. You know, obviously they're not gonna kill off the MC, but let's say in reality, you know, we're trying to translate this somehow, some way. I don't know. Trying to make stuff up. Anyways, ignore that. Anyways, so yeah, Hajime could have ended up dead. But because he was protecting Rirui, because he knew Rirui was in danger, you know, the fight and flight, you know, the whole miracle strength theory where, you know, when a parent tries to save a kid underneath a car, they gain like this extremely excessive amount of power. So I think I see it like that. You know, right when he saw he lost his arm because for Rirui, he was like, oh shit. Even though I lost the arm, he still defeated the fuck out of that monster thing. In episode 8. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, this anime is called Grinding at the Age of 29 or something like that. I'll put the actual name in the description. Oh shit. Fog brain. So I just realized I have a lot of fog brain. If you guys have seen any of my videos, I don't know, man. I guess I just carry it with me everywhere. You know, I can't think straight. Oh, what it is to be me. And she's like, yeah, I'm just glad you're okay. So he's there on top of the tree. He's trying to ease her guilt, ease her pain, and be like, look, Rirui, I'm just glad you're okay. And it's like when you let somebody borrow your car and they get into a car accident. It's like, what are you gonna give two shits about? The car that you lost, the limb that you lost. You know, he just lost a limb. Now and then obviously in his episode he got a prosthetic in place. And I really thought like someone with like some crazy amount of miracle magic would just heal his arm. But that didn't happen. So I do really appreciate this anime for not, you know, giving the MC too much leeway on the fact that he's like the main character. So yeah, you can see here Rirui is just livid. She's like, damn, yeah, this sucks. But, you know, he forgives me, obviously. And he doesn't want me to go on with my life feeling like shit, does he? And that's the other thing too, right? The other receiving end of that guilt. Like, let's say someone crashed my car. I wouldn't want to drive their face through the mud any further than what I have to. And that's, bro, that's like diabolical. That really is diabolical. And it's been done to me a lot in my life. And I would never want anyone else to feel that guilt. So that's why I don't complain. I don't argue. I don't do any of that. I think it's a very tricky situation. See, look, see, Rirui says, like, Rirui is going to be stronger. Yes, Rirui. Let's get stronger together. I'm gonna get stronger with Rirui. Who's fucking with me? Who's fucking... No, okay. Gotta calm down here. If Rui's gonna get stronger, why can't you motherfuckers, huh? Why can't... I'm already assuming. I don't even know you guys. Well, if you're weak right now, you little shits. If Rui's gonna get... Look, I'll get strong enough to replace your left arm, damn it. Look, if Rui's willing to go through the grind, you guys need to go through that grind too, man. No excuses.